didn't think it was.
Okay, we might as well get started. Laura is going to be our, what? One more person. Laura is going to be our MC. I'm going to do my best to spotlight people faster than I did last time, I hope. I thought what we would do is just have one person show one piece, okay, and then we'll just keep going around until everyone's either the time is used up or everyone's shown what they have to show, okay? We agreed we wouldn't do necklaces. If a necklace creeps in here or there, we're not going to get upset, but we did do necklaces last time. Now we're thinking that next month we will do beaded flowers, okay? And that's open to your interpretation. Anything you want to show in by way of beaded flower will be fine. And I'll be making those announcements, coming up. Have I forgotten anything, Laura and Maggie?
So, yeah.
Hey, Laura, I turn it over to you and I'll do my best to spotlight you and everybody.
Okay, cool. So, some of you guys were here last time. We just kind of do a show and tell. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through, like, call everybody off, have you show everything you want to show, or show your piece, say what you have to say, and then we can open it up to questions because I always think it's easier, if you can say your piece first. And like Valerie said, we're doing sculpture, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a sculpture. It can be anything sculptural in nature. So yeah, if a necklace or something creeps in, we will allow it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go through you guys in the order in which you appear on my screen. But I think I'm going to make Maggie go first because we did that last time too. So we're going to start with her, just,
Of course you are.
we can. So.
No, I have been doing, I'm in love with decorative tassels. And so I have been making three-dimensional decorative tassels. Okay, this was a workshop, and it's literally just the warp triangle put together around cubic zirconias. And then these silk tassels I get from Thailand, and they're gorgeous. They're just, they are handmade. And then I had this other tassel that was decorative. And some of you, Nancy, you may have taken this with me. I don't know. This is based on the Florence Cathedral in Florence, and it's the Duomo. And so all of these spines are cubic right angle weave, and then in between is peyote, and then I embellished the cubic zirconias with peyote, bezeled them, and then I had to join them all together. So that's 3D for me. I would love to do a sculpture, but I get bored. I mean, I would love to do like some of these, you see these sculptures with boxes and this and that, but how many rows of peyote can I do? So I like small components and then putting them together. So
Cool. Excellent. Hold on, I gotta just put it so I can see everybody. Any questions for Maggie?
Yeah, I actually will have a question about the purple tassel. So you've got a rope on there.
Yeah.
And can you explain what the rope is? Because it looked like it was kind of dimensional.
It is, and it's it's chenille stitch. It's chenille stitch. You can't see because it's in the silvers and stuff, but it's chenille stitch with, I think, all 15s. Yeah, so it takes a while. I don't know that I would do that again, but in the instructions, I think I have you do it with. So if you don't know chenille stitch, it's a fun stitch and it's got a nice rhythm. Yeah, that's what I use, and actually that's what I used on this one too. I just haven't reattached it.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool. Okay. Next, who am I going to make go next? Becca, you're up on my screen. So,
Okay, well, this is kind of a two-parter. So I've been learning how to make toruses, donuts, and then I saw somebody who is Japanese made some torus stars. Okay.
Oh,
And so this is oh, it's not focusing. What the heck is wrong with my camera? I've got to get a new camera, I think.
Pulling, pulling back, maybe.
Ah, yeah. Well, anyway,
what do they
so
call
so then what I wanted to do was figure out if I could do more on the ends.
Mm.
And so I turned to my larger beads. So I've been buying these since Suzanne Golden was on here. I've been buying these larger beads so that I could do things in larger beads and then as models and then take them down to smaller beads. So I made this and it just
Wow.
so this is 8 millimeter plastic beads, and we and my husband loves it, and so we have it hanging on the wall, and so it's actually the same as this. Only I wanted to see if I could Laura Shea eyes it, um, which is like put some kind of a beaded thing around the edge. And I was able to do this, but it was not easy because of the angles of the beads here. And I've decided I am not going to try to Laura Shea eyes this because I don't think I've got needles that are small enough that I can bend. I was like taking needles and bending them with my pliers and anyway. So this is what I have to show. I call this a volcano star.
I love it.
That's the colors.
I think
I
it's,
love
I think it's beautiful. Beautiful.
I have
Have you found curved needles yet though? Because
What I've been doing, I found bookbinder needles online. I haven't ordered them.
wow.
And I found some curved needles, but I was like, I just want to see if I can get this done now. So I took out my pliers and I bent some needles up. I broke some too.
there are curved needles available. I think they're like 10s or 11s,
I
but
tell you what, if you'll contact me, I'll send you some bent needles because I hate them, and I have some, and I have some bookbinding needles. I just have to find them, and I will give them to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll ask Valerie to give me your contact info.
Okay,
That would be great.
sure.
I have a question about tension because when I use bigger beads, my tension is really horrible. I have a really hard time keeping it,
These are like I like tight tension.
yeah,
And
I do too.
so
I don't get it.
yeah, well, these are reinforced like
Okay. So kind of
crazy.
what Valerie does in a lot of her work with
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say each bead probably has 12 strings in it, six
Oh wow.
one direction, six. They're just, and my hands get sore from,
Yeah.
but the smaller ones, you won't. These I made with Fireline or something similar, and that's not hard at all.
Okay, that's kind of what you do,
for the
Valerie.
big one, did you use thread or Fireline?
I used the micro S-line.
Oh,
It's kind of it has a little bit of give in it.
okay.
But I'm really compulsive about stretching it out and waxing it to get all the curve out because otherwise it just tangles. That's my experience with it unless I really treat the thread.
Interesting. Really neat.
What's the name of those beads you used in that piece? The name of the beads that Suzanne Golden uses, I forgot.
Oh, these are just 8 millimeter round faceted beads. I don't know I think she uses the fusible beads.
Yeah, they're perler beads.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Which you can bead with or you can melt them too, I think. I'm
You
not
can, and they make mini ones. So there's bigger ones and then mini ones of those.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay. Cool.
That sounds like fun.
Carrie?
You're very welcome. All right, Laura.
Okay, next up, Mary.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, I joined late. I was like, I haven't picked up a beading needle till like January 1st in like 3 years. So I'm just getting back in the swing.
Awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Well, did you have anything you want to share, or are you just here for the as a spectator?
I'm gonna be a spectator. Sorry.
No, no, we love it. We love it. So yeah, I should have said that. If you don't have anything to share, I'm calling on everybody, but if you don't have anything, you don't need to, it's
I've
optional.
just been cleaning up kits that I had and projects, UFOs, and I've done, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm like on my 12th one for the year so far. So I'm
Wow,
excited.
that's great.
Excellent. And
Well,
it's wow, awesome.
I have some projects you could, can I ship them your way?
Hey, I retired. I'm having fun with life again.
Oh, I get you. Yeah, I get you. Good for you.
Okay, well, Nina, you're up.
See, where is Nina?
Okay. All right. So I have this piece, which it started out as a necklace. And then when I'm real big on repurposing stuff, so then I decided to do it on a canvas. So it's actually on a canvas and it's got all kinds of, dimensional work on it. But yeah, once the pandemic hit and I wasn't wearing jewelry like I used to, I needed to find something to do with it. So that's what I did with this piece. So the face is polymer clay.
Okay, I was going to ask that. That's very
okay.
good.
Yeah, the face is polymer clay. I used to make them and sell them back in the day.
Really?
Oh yeah, I have a whole jar full of them because I used to sell them at the Texas Bead Retreat and I haven't gone there since the pandemic. So yeah.
I like the draping of the bugle beads, the way they kind of drape around. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, this particular technique is something that I actually learned from Colette at the Texas Bead Retreat. And I really like it. It adds a nice dimension to pieces.
It's really nice. Very much so. I like it. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's really lovely. Does it have a name?
No. I'm the world's worst about naming things. Yeah. Hey, that was always a problem. When I published, I couldn't come up with names. So yeah.
And what other techniques are in there?
Let's see, there's peyote, there's bead embroidery, there's just free form.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Welcome.
Nina, have you thought about going back next year to
I'm
the
sorry.
Texas Bead Retreat?
My problem is I don't have anybody to keep my dogs anymore.
Yeah.
My husband, yeah, my husband.
I love dogs. I love dogs.
Yeah, I actually pet sit in the neighborhood, so I love dogs. But yeah, my husband passed away a couple of years ago, and so I don't have anybody. And both of my breeds are rather intimidating. I have a pit bull and a red heeler. So, and I just don't have anybody right now to take care of them. So I haven't been able to go. I'd love to. I miss it, but
I haven't been back since the pandemic either.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I haven't. Yeah, would have been nice to go last year or this year, but
well, when I lived in Arkansas, it was about a 600-mile drive for me, so I could do that. But now that I'm in Florida, it's I would have to fly.
Yeah.
Cool. What's the fabric on that, Nina? Is it a silk or?
No, it's actually a batik, cotton batik. It's like a quilting fabric.
I love it. It works so well with the piece.
Yeah, it really does. And I have a lot of those type fabrics. I was bad about buying fabrics just because, oh wow, isn't this pretty? I mean, how many things do we add like that to our stash? Yeah. So when the pandemic hit, I started going through what I had and using what I had. And that's how this came about. I just pulled out what I had and threw it together. So the lampwork beads were were lampwork beads that I'd had for years, and you know, I just go through the boxes and pull stuff together and then just do it.
And
Well,
what
it's
are
stunning.
it's on my right, I guess her left, but those round beads that go around her, the bigger round beads that go around her face.
The bigger
There's a
round
green one there, and there's
like this one.
no,
No.
over on the other side, the lime green right there. What is that one?
The lime, this.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
they're just glass beads. They're a little bit flattened. Again, I would go to a bead show and oh wow, pretty beads. So you know, would buy the beads. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to, you know, what they are. I don't care, you know, I don't care if they're this bead or this type of stone or that type of stone. If I like the looks of it, I'll buy it and I'll use it. So but I think those are just glass beads.
I love them. I love them. But that's how I am with yarn. I just found 2 vacuum packed things of yarn. I don't knit. I crochet a little.
I'm the same way. I have the yarn too, but I don't. I can knit, but I don't.
I'm going to use it in something else. But anyway, it's a beautiful job. I love it. So.
Thank you.
Okay, Ziva.
Could I say something? I'm going to have to get off. It's Carol Jones. I wanted to answer the question about Suzanne Golden, because she's not using the perler beads or the hammer beads anymore. She's using a bead called Artkal. Artkal. So I wanted to answer that question.
Oh, thank you.
Whoever asked it. I wrote Suzanne not long ago about something she was making, and I haven't, it comes in more colors apparently than the perler or the hammer. And I didn't look it up, so I don't know where to find it, but that's how she spelled it. Okay?
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you repeat the spelling, please? It's A-R-T.
I think it was A-R-T, like art, K-A-L.
Like calorie.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Artkal. So anyway, I have to hop off soon, so I just wanted to interject that. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, Ziva, you're up.
Okay, I thought I'll share with you my tea time set.
Ooh.
It's kind of hard to show it on on the camera, but I'll show you the pieces. So this is the teacup.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
And this is the cup.
Oh my God.
They're wonderful.
And this is a plate with 5 sugar cubes.
No way. I love it.
Love it.
You know, sugar cubes always remind me of my grandfather, so I have a special sentiment to them.
Sure. Sure.
And that's the tablecloth they're all standing on.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Bravo. They're fabulous. I love them.
Thank you.
That's just fantastic.
Yeah, those are so. How many did you have? Like 2 teacups, or how many of the pieces do you have?
I made okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7 pieces of this set, and I made them in different colors.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
Cool.
that must be fun to see them all together in different colors.
Yeah, and it's really all peyote, except for the spout. I think, if I remember correctly, I made it of brick stitch.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
Good for you. That I love the colorway that you just showed us.
Thank you.
But
Actually, it was the first one.
Of course.
The kettle again. Could you hold up the kettle again?
Yeah, kettle is
Yeah, the kettle's cool.
isn't that lovely?
Yeah, I love it.
That and it's so clean. It's so I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's
like a ziggurat almost. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
So cool.
Bravo.
Excellent.
Bravo.
Okay, Nancy, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm not very original, but I have to, first of all, I have to bow to one of our moderators, and this is a Laura McCabe creature.
That's great.
Love it.
And you'll notice that Laura even made sure her nails were painted.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I tend, I do a lot of classes in that. I'm been into a Jean Power thing, and of course have done, a lot of her geometric shapes, etc., and stars and that. But I'm combining two of my favorites.
Now
This
you know
a
that's
Jean piece,
fabulous.
but you'll notice, and this is not finished, which is why it's coming apart. This could be maybe for next month for the flowers, because this is a Laura inspired piece. So that's the kind of stuff I've been doing.
That's her Chartres Cathedral, right? The Chartres.
Yeah, it is Chartres, and I haven't finished the top for it.
I would send
she's
them
got
to her
that thing.
because I love the way you combine them. I would send them to her. I think that's great.
I will. Jean loves that. And of course, and then there's always one of Laura's masterclass pieces, and it's Laura because of the eyes, but so
Excellent.
that as I said, I'm not as original as some of the rest of you, but I do like playing with color, and I like to do things in my own colors. So
I think you're doing quite well. I would not worry about that. I love you just combined two designers and made it your own.
well, that I'm kind of excited about that. And of course it's not done. I've got to figure out how to work it so it's steadier. And I've got some other flowers that I thought about. I have a flower that I created, an eye flower, but it's with some of Jean's like petals. And I thought that could also, maybe I could put a couple of different flowers in this thing. So I'm not, I'm not there yet. I'm
Well,
still,
you're getting there. I would not worry. You're getting there. I think it's fabulous.
it's
Fantastic.
so
Yeah.
thank you.
Fantastic.
Beautiful. Nancy, I have a question. What is the work of art on the wall behind you? Is that
I had the same question. Thank you.
Ask it too.
Thanks for asking. I was going to ask that one too.
It is, and you can't really get the full impact. It is an agam. Agam is an Israeli artist who is extremely old right now. He does these wonderful things where as you walk past it, the colors vibrate and blend in that. And I will tell you, I am an art hog. I love buying art, and you walk into this place and there is not a wall without paintings and sculptures and just all kinds of crazy stuff, and flamingos, because I do flamingos. So, but this was, I did a cruise with my friend Mary Barthold, and we were in Alaska, and nobody told me that when you do cruises, they have art shows. And between Mary and I, they've invited us back.
I know both of you. I can imagine they probably had a special reception.
They have actually offered us tickets on a cruise just to come back because the two of us went nuts. The agam I made it a birthday present for myself.
beautiful?
Wow.
Thank you.
Print or
No, it's real. It's an original. It's an original signed agam.
so
And
what's the medium? Like, is it gouache? Is it oil paint? Is it watercolor?
I don't really know. It's this technique that he has that where the colors are just they're luminescent, and this isn't even a really good presentation for it, but it made me happy because I can sit in my kitchen and I can see it here and that. So when I buy art, I buy it because it gives me pleasure. And you know, it's not watercolor,
Can I
it's
ask
not
you?
acrylics. It's there's a glass and a color thing, and I probably should school myself more on it. But he's just his work is just unbelievable.
And how
And
do you spell his name? I'm not familiar with.
Agam.
Uh-huh.
And his son is now also an artist,
Mhm.
but this is one of Senior's pieces.
Okay.
It says here he often uses color blocking and layering to create the illusion of movement and depth.
Yes.
Exactly. The thing actually moves. When you walk by it, the colors move. It's just
He also had some buildings in Israel with his art outside, like a street art.
Mhm.
Yeah, look for him. Look him up. He's very, very famous, and
he has they built didn't isn't it in Israel that they built a museum for him, Ziva?
I don't know. I've not heard about it, but I'm going to check it right now.
I just think it's a fabulous piece.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Beautiful.
it was one of those, okay.
Mhm.
I loved
I
it.
buy myself something special for my birthday every year.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
has
even
a
need
museum.
birthdays anymore. I just buy it if I love it.
Well, but Maggie, I had to justify it. Somehow or other, I had to justify it.
And I would justify it to my husband, but other than that, the
Can
heck.
you see his work?
But I do. I
Can
forget what I
you
was going to say
can
now.
you see his work?
It's like public
Eva's
art.
got something on her phone that she's holding up to the camera.
What is it?
It it's his work.
Is it
It's his work
dichroic
outside.
glass?
Yeah, it's
Yes, Nancy, he has a museum.
yeah, there's a museum in Israel that is just a gum.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's worthwhile looking at after this. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Cool.
Wow.
His work is very recognizable.
Yeah.
And they're so colorful. That's so beautiful to see.
What's interesting is people have copied his concept. And I thought about trying to do something in beads, but to get the movement that he gets with the glass is just it's virtually impossible.
Mhm.
One of a kind.
Very cool.
So
Thank you.
because I've seen needlepoint canvases designed similar to this, but
No.
anyway.
You might be able to do it in mosaics, in
Mm.
terms of matte to glass or something. I don't know, but I'm not about to try it. But I just think his work is beautiful. And I have to tell you, I'm always sorry I never bought a Scott Radke piece.
I love
Because
this.
I love his work. And now he's not doing big pieces anymore. He's doing only smaller ones, which I plan on getting. But I really wanted one of those beautiful ladies hanging from my studio ceiling looking at me. If you're not familiar with his work, gals, he's fabulous, as is his wife. So.
Yeah, he's great. Okay, Amy, you are up. Would you like to share?
I don't have anything to share today, but I'm so inspired to be here and I'd love to be able to share something in the future. Is the overriding theme always three-dimensional or what?
It changes every time. Like this time we did sculpture, last time we did necklaces, the time before we did earrings.
Okay.
And so like I said, you're welcome to come if you want to share. If you don't want to share and just want to check it out, that's cool too.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna go for beaded flowers next time around. So yeah, so I think that's the plan. But and some of you guys, I had you on my list and I emailed you again. I had you from the first time, but if you're not, if you want to be on the list, Valerie and I will make sure you get the Zoom invites, before the end of, because we always do the last Friday of the month. We do
Okay.
it. So yeah, so just let us know, reach out to one of us. If you didn't, I don't know if Valerie did, but I did email the people on my list today. So
I heard about this from Creative Castle, and then I told Carol I'd love to be on the list, and she told Valerie, so that's how I got the link.
okay, cool. So you're on the
Now,
list.
I need to start a list somehow. Is it just putting it on my Facebook page and email me?
Yeah, that's what I've done, Maggie. I've just said to people, email me, and then I keep like a spreadsheet, and I'll send people the link.
This is so much fun. I really enjoy these Fridays.
Yeah,
Like,
but you can.
I love it. Thanks to Valerie and Laura. It's fabulous. So.
Just seemed though too insular to have it be just the three of us. So that's why we wanted to change and have all of you guys contributing, because there's so much more creativity that way.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So much more learning, so much more
Oh,
sharing.
thank you. This is great. I want to show I did Laura. I did. It's been in my stash, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years.
Oh my gosh, well done.
And so I finished it on the 20th. So this is my labor of love in like 3 days.
Excellent.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love it. It's fabulous.
Yeah, they take a while. Well done.
It was fun.
What's the name of it, Laura? Or
That's the geofloral.
Yeah, geofloral beaded bead. You can use it. It can be a structure, but you can also run a thread.
Yeah, little necklace. Yeah, not sure I could put it on a necklace.
Yeah, it's a pretty substantial.
Yeah, it's a chunk, but it's beautiful. I was intimidated by it at first, and I'm like, nope. And I went, all right, that's top of the list. So thank you.
Did it. Yeah.
I took Laura's master class with the flowers, and I think the way she bezels to make the center of the flower, absolutely genius. Absolutely genius the way you capture that chaton. Whether you show it or not, but it's.
Maggie, you should see the seaweed that she does too.
Oh, I know.
I'm thinking I don't remember what it was called, but from the
kelp, is that from the ocean?
The kelp, yes.
Yeah. Yes. I have to look at it again, but I'm just always amazed how people come to these things.
It's fun. It's fun. Okay, Becky, you're up.
Hey, Becky. Hi.
Hey. Well, anyway, I don't have anything because I found out about it today. And so I thought, well, this sounds fun. I love to do Zoom, and especially with creative people like y'all. So
nice.
I just
joined us.
Glad you came.
Yeah, so fun. Okay, I gotta scoot around. Cheryl, your turn.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Good. And speaking of Laura's bezeling.
Oh, wow.
Laura taught me to do this one.
Beautiful.
But Laura has seen all of these pieces. I have not figured out yet how to put them back together, because originally the pieces I was going to put on this piece of stingray, remember, Laura?
Yes, I do.
But then my son, when I showed him all of these, because it's something for him, he says, well, why don't you make it 3-dimensional? So I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. But this is the face.
Oh, beautiful.
A little back.
And then this will be part of it, like a shield.
Oh my God, I love it.
And then this will be like a weapon for it.
Cool.
Oh,
I just got to figure out how to make it all 3-dimensional to put it together.
You will. The pieces are there.
Yeah, I got all the pieces, and I've got, the beads and the different colors and stuff of what I wanted to do. My original, like I said, I was just going to put the pieces on here and then dangle this of Laura's from the bottom. And then he said, well, why don't you just do this? And I'm like, okay. So we'll get around to it.
So you want to build up off of that piece you just showed us, what was that? The shark? What is
That's this
the
part.
piece?
This
Red
is
piece,
actually a
the red piece. No,
stone.
the red piece showed us. Yeah, I love
Oh
that. But
yeah, the red
still
piece.
up from that.
Wow.
Yeah,
And then
I love that.
this is its face.
Well,
I can't see. Okay.
You
Cheryl,
see the
why don't
face
you,
in it now?
Yeah.
Here, let me.
Yes.
Cheryl, could you do like a neck between that and the shield?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to get it to where you can actually see the face. So there's a teardrop coming out of its eye too.
I love it. I
So is it clay? Is it
It's Maiku's
It's
from her.
Cast.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's food.
Yeah, these two pieces are hers.
They're lovely.
I
So
love
so that's my plan. Eventually I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that stingray is tough. You can't really like you
I know,
can't
that's what you were telling me. It's hard to put a needle
I see.
through it.
That's what I meant. The stingray. Okay. Do you
Yeah,
want to?
it's actually
Question.
stingray.
Do you want to
Yeah.
build up from that, or just?
He wants an actual three-dimensional figure. I was just going to put it on there, and then he's like, "Well, do this," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Which just made me think. Hold on a minute. Let me show you this. It has nothing to do with beads.
Can you use the piece of stingray and to make your form for your dimensional piece? Can you like round it around a dowel or something? And then
I
that would
possibly could, and
that
then
would give you your
Laura,
structure for your head and your shield, and then you could also put your the spear on it.
yes, and then I also have a bigger piece of stingray from you, Laura, the black one that I got from you.
Yeah.
The thing
But
with
then here is another little piece.
Oh, look at this!
A friend gave this to me. So it's just an electrical outlet with
Oh,
crazy hair and wires just wrapped all around it.
oh my
And the person actually named it. It says wall outlet and creative outlet in one. Funny, yes. I am Gloria.
God.
So she is
I'm always
Gloria.
at what people come up with. That's fabulous.
Yes, yeah. So that's kind of a cool little thing too. You know, maybe I could get an electrical outlet and then put the face on there.
Why not? Why not?
There's an idea. We'll work on that.
You could also use one of those tiny styrofoam balls and stitch it to that, and then do hair off of that. You know, just do spikes with beads or whatever. Sticks.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. Lots of different ideas.
I
You
only
could
give
also do just a geometric ball of some kind, and
yeah.
mounted behind.
Yeah.
Like you could do, all right, and you could take like two geometric forms, one on top of the other, and then put your face on one and the shield, and I'm just using what I've got sitting here.
Yeah.
And the shield is on the bottom.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
because that is really a cool piece. That
yeah,
you
I think
see, look, the spikes come out on the side.
spikes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching the Vikings. You know.
Yeah.
very cool. Excellent. Well, I think it means it's your turn, Valerie.
Okay. I will try to do the right spotlight thing. Let me take a minute. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So should I show the little one? I'll show the big one first. Okay. So many years ago, I went to China and I got this beaded boat. It's all cubic right angle weave, right? And it's definitely very kitschy. It's definitely completely hopelessly over the top. But I mean, I couldn't resist, and I figured I can make room in my suitcase for that, you know.
Fabulous.
I love it.
How did you get that home, Valerie?
I probably paid extra on the luggage. I can admit I did it. I probably did. Okay. Yeah, I just, figured I'm only here once. I'm going to bring more stuff.
Absolutely. And I love it. I always buy an extra cheap suitcase going home.
I'm sure I did that. Yes. And they fall apart right away, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
They serve
when I went to China, I had to buy an extra suitcase. The three I already have wouldn't hold everything. So.
What were you buying? What were you buying over there?
I was buying all kinds of things. This was in 2006.
A good time to go.
And I got some beads. Mostly I got gifts for other people. I bought art and I bought all kinds of things that people made there and brought them home and gave them away.
It's a very nice thing to do. It's wonderful. Yes. So it's my first one. I have another one, but I figured we'd go around, and see if anyone else wants to show something else. Right? Laura, you haven't gone yet.
Turn. It's funny. I was going to show you one thing, and then I thought of another thing that's on the other side of my studio. So I'm going to go grab the other thing.
Okay, cool. Go do it.
Well, while she's doing it, can you put up, it's a dragon boat?
It's a dragon boat. Yeah, I have another one too. I
love this. This is
the other one I have. I'll go get the other one. Let me see. It'll take me just a minute.
So I have to entertain the rest of you. You have to listen to me. They're back.
What's Valerie getting? She's getting her.
Get another piece.
Getting another piece.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Excellent.
While you were gone, I just wanted to see the dragon boat up close. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you both of them. Okay, so you can.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. Either 2007 or 2008. It was for the Beijing Olympics, right?
Oh my God, I love it.
Kind of simpler, it's smaller. The head here, let me just show you.
Are they glass or plastic? I'm sorry, the beads.
Plastic. The head is not as nuanced. Like, I'll just show you. This is my second thing. This is a dragon. And it's just so beautifully curving. And the head is really sophisticated, very kitschy. But there's such good ideas for structure in here.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't figured this out yet. I've been working on this for a while, off and on, how to make this smaller, right? I haven't figured it out yet, but maybe someday.
But I love it. I love that it's kitschy. I mean, I just think I would put that in my living room, It's fabulous.
Well, these beads tend to bleach out, so I've kept them kind of, tucked away because I'm afraid this was these were more, vibrant colors when I got them. But anyway, okay, here's the big dragon boat. And this is actually probably modeled on an imperial. Is somebody coming here? An imperial Chinese boat of some sort. And this one is just, I don't know what this is. It's probably a traditional boat too. But how clever, how resourceful. And the people who were doing this beadwork in China, at least when I was going, were retired people in their 50s and 60s. And I interviewed an older couple. I'm going to say they seemed older at the time. They were probably in their 60s, which isn't old anymore. We're making like 3 or 4 foot tall scale models of giant imperial pagodas, right? And so I brought a photographer at that time and we photographed the heck out of what they were making. So it's retired people. The mandatory retirement age was or is in China, I can't remember, 55. So people don't have a lot to do. And then bead stores started opening because the petrochemical industry in China developed to such a point where they could produce these incredible plastic beads in bulk. They're exporting them, but they're also, a local use for them. So I was going to bead stores in Beijing. It took a long time to find them, but I eventually did. And people are just having a wonderful time, sitting around just like we're doing right now, talking to each other, learning at these bead stores. You know, the models, these things were hanging up like above my head, and I would point and I would go, oh, could I have
I
that?
can see it.
And a lot of the
Wow.
time they'd be like, no, we can't sell that. I'm like, oh, but please, you know, please, I'm just a dumb foreigner. Couldn't I just buy it? They're like, no. So I feel, you know, lucky to get the ones that I got.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing in China. Beading has undergone a renaissance for the last 25, maybe even 30 years since I've been going. It's amazing. So that's everything I had to show.
That's gorgeous. I love it.
Excellent. Cool.
Okay, Laura, is it you?
Yeah, I'll show you. I just kind of thought of it because, you know, sculpture is something I have always been into. I don't actually wear very much jewelry. So if I'm making stuff for myself, I'm making sculpture. And I just like creatively, it's just really fun for me. You know, it's a lot of, 3D problem solving and things like that. So I went through a period where I thought that we should do like large scale public art projects where we did giant woven beadwork. And so I started doing a few things. And I just had one sitting over there, so I grabbed it. But I was going to tell you my interesting observations on it. So this was a bracelet that I had done a long time ago.
I love this piece.
Yeah,
This is one of my favorite
Eiffel
pieces.
Tower.
Sorry.
So I decided to take that and I wanted to like mess around with like blowing up the scale of it. So
Oh my
working
God.
Oh,
archery some beads. And it was interesting because like initially I was like, okay, well the thing is you can use any size bead, but they have to be in the right proportions, you know. So
Oh,
you have to
yeah.
make sure that your cylinders at this scale are the same proportion, to the other beads as, so but it was really interesting. I messed around with it a lot and I did a bunch of these pieces, but I realized ultimately, which is something that I hadn't thought about until after I started doing it, that the biggest issue you run into is the thread is too thin. Like the diameter of the thread in relationship to the hole is as important as the proportions on the beads. So if you're going to use, whatever 6 pound fire line on these beads, you have to amp up the size of the thread that much so that proportionately it's the same size in these. Otherwise, you get just this like very floppiness. Like you can't keep the structure. It was really interesting. So that was one of kind of my observations. So I think at that point I kind of gave up on my large scale giant beadwork that I was going to do.
I love it.
What did you use?
On this one I ended up using wax linen and I have like several thicknesses of wax linen, but it's still not enough. It would need to be even thicker than that.
What about using a macrame cord? Like some of the macrame cords.
Yeah, that might work. Something like that. Something a little bit. Yeah, because it was really funny. It was just something I never thought about, the importance of the diameter of the thread in business. But yeah, so I did do a few of these and I as we were talking, I looked at it and I was like, oh,
I love it. Could you, after you've stitched it together, insert wires into the structure to make it?
You probably could. Yeah, you probably could.
I mean, do you have enough space in the holes as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of the way we did with the stems on the flowers and that.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you could put some like like the aluminum craft wire would work well. So
Okay.
and I think even like I didn't try it, but the like plastic, we used to call it GIMP, plastic cording that you would make like the knotted stuff with at camp, that kind of thing I think would have worked better.
But the regular S-Lon, not the micro cord, because for the beads that I've been using, which are 8 millimeter, that is actually too large to get more than 3 passes through.
Oh, okay.
And so that might work really well for those beads. But I was just going to say that I think it's really instructive to have these bigger models, because if you're making something small, it's much easier to see when you've got something really big to look at.
Yeah, it is. It's nice.
Good point.
Yeah, it is really nice. So yeah, so I did a little bit of that. I just used the like wooden beads. And the challenge was just trying to find stuff that proportionately like a 15 equal to 15 in a cylinder, proportionately to each other with the wooden beads. But
And I think maybe, it will find its place maybe in the future. You'll figure out how to,
Yeah.
do something with it in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see like large scale beaded
Yes.
objects like in parks and things like that. So
Absolutely. Why not? I mean, yeah, it's fabulous.
it'd be like a group effort too. So yeah, it was sort of an idea I had and then I don't know, whatever.
Spaceship, Laura.
Do any of you know the artist George Hart?
No.
He's a mathematical artist and he has these, huge sculptures that are all geometric and that are installations in places. And they're just fabulous, different shaped pieces that fit into something that turns out to be completely geometric. And I find it fascinating.
Oh, I gotta look him up.
Becca, what was his name again?
George Hart. I think it's Hart. I might have it bookmarked on my phone.
I have a lot of research to do tonight after this.
I can look it up.
By the way, somebody mentioned Laura Shea earlier.
That was me.
And I kind of spoke with her via Messenger after our last go round. And she has been very immobile, but she's getting back on her feet. And I said that we wanted her book.
Yes.
And she said, the book is not dead. It's coming. So she's on Facebook, but the only way I seem to be able to contact her was through Messenger. So I just meant to share that earlier when we were talking.
Thank you.
So she's still around and still.
Thank you. She's got a huge fan club in me anyway.
Well, I think I told you guys, I did some testing for her for the book. And some of the stuff, we just can't lose it. I would share it, but I can't, it's her, it's her thing. But fabulous geometric.
Yeah. So I found this guy, his name is George Hart, George W. Hart, Hart.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I think it's georgehart.com.
Cool.
Did you give the lady's name again?
Oh,
Did you
Laura.
just talk about
Laura
Hey.
Laura Shea? Thank you.
Laura Shea, Sha.
And she used to but I think her website, I don't know, was it called Beading All the Angles or Beading All the Angles, Beading by the Angles or something?
I don't remember.
Last time I went to look at her website, this is a few years ago, I didn't find much at all there.
Well, she's been very, very ill. Literally confined to her bed since COVID.
Wow, that's a long.
There were broken bones. It just a whole lot of things, and she shared with us. There's a group of us that chat via Messenger, and she shared that she had finally stood with a walker and taken some steps, and it's a major. It truly was a major event. And she said she'd gotten my message about the book and about her name came up in this group. And she said, well, the book's still there. I'm still going to do it. So we'll see. And I offered anything I could do to help her get it into print, I would do. But
good.
I'm familiar with her. That's fabulous. This is new to me. Wow.
Yeah. So.
SHEA. Shea.
Yeah, in Colorado. Oh gosh, where
in Denver? Yeah.
In the Denver, somewhere around Denver. Yeah. Yep. All right. So Laura, who should go next?
We've covered everybody. Does anybody have another thing they want to share?
Can I share another star? It's not done. It's the same size, but it's different.
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, it's right over here. So it's all done except for this right here. And so it's exactly the same. It's just a different colorway. And instead of trying to Laura Shea eyes the point, instead I Valerie Hectorized them. Using a the end, it's actually not quite the same as the end of the cocoa earrings. So I use those as the points rather than trying to Laura Shea-ize it. I Valerie Hectorized it.
I like that. I approve.
Okay, good.
I
Thanks.
love the Valerie Hectorizing and the Laura Shea Hectorizing. It's a whole new verb tense, isn't it? Or something.
We're inventing new words.
Yeah.
And we approve.
We do.
Thank you.
Laura's website is a dancingrainbow.com.
Rainbow. Sure. I forgot. Yeah. Dancing rainbow.
But it says the link is not working, so I don't know.
I think that's what I found. You know?
I found her on beadingtechniques.com. I don't know if that's anything, but
Yeah, that's where I found her as well.
okay.
So what is beading gem?
I don't know. I Googled her and
Okay. And
It looks like a Pinterest type thing.
okay.
okay.
Crystal Geometric Beadwork by Laura Shea. The Beading Gem. It looks like it's another, yeah.
You could also, she used to do the math art conference. She used to bring her structures to the math art conference. I think she went to 2 or 3. And you can find her publications in their publications. You know, you can find some of her articles, I think. Among their
now I remember her. Okay. Yeah.
She's a mathematic genius.
Yes, she is. There's no question. She just invented this genre. I mean, the Chinese had already invented it, but she just did it differently and more expansively. And, you know, well, she has access to much better beads. And so she took it and ran with it. It's amazing. Somebody is coming in. Oh, wait, maybe this is Mara. Mara, you are late, honey.
Yep, Mara's here, but on her phone. So we might get a video with it.
Hi, Mara. Hey, Mara.
Hey.
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hi, Mara. Do you want to welcome? We're glad you could.
I had a lot of problems. My computer just died on me forever, for good. So I only have the phone, and I feel a little bit embarrassed because it's.
Do you want to show us? You have the most amazing work. Do you want to show us some?
Yeah, I want to show a piece of sculpture I've done a while ago, which is kind of very tiny. And I'm gonna put the camera on as soon as I figure out the light. It's kind of dark. Let me see.
Spotlight.
Let me see if I can. On the phone, by the way, I keep not understanding how. Okay, here you go. The lights are like woo, spooky.
You are in the Santa Barbara area, is that right?
I live in Ohio, in Santa Barbara area, yeah. But it's still light, but it's being cloudy, so it's a little bit. And my place is notoriously dark, like a cave. So,
well, welcome. Glad you could stop.
Yeah. So I made a while ago this kind of like geometric roses, which are basically cubic right angle cubes with the design of Mondrian, the artist Piet Mondrian.
Oh, wow.
And basically I extruded these little petals. So it's it's very simple, but the whole idea was to create roses that are actually squared. And in the back is kind of like this fun, I don't know, looking like a toy or, I don't know, a tool. And I make the biggest one. So they're kind of like, it was an experiment because obviously they're kind of heavy. So it would be hard to wear them. I was thinking to make into brooches. And so they have this extrusion that they're soft like petals. And Basically, they're squared roses.
So you think of them as roses, like the flower, the rose?
Yeah, but they're squares. So it's like geometric.
Okay.
And
rose petals.
Yeah, they have the only things that make them look like flowers is the petals that extrude.
Okay.
It's very much like a mentalization of of a flower.
So what's on the inside? Is there an armature?
Nothing. So that's the beautiful part. It's like it's all cubic triangle. So I made these cubes. They're all empty.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it took forever because they're tiny, minuscule beads. But and they're nice to the touch. People that touch them, they're like, "Oh my God, I thought inside there was something," but actually they're olive. So you touch them and you can sense that they're olive. But I don't know what to do with it. They're kind of cute. I kind of enjoy making them.
You just make a big necklace.
Yeah, it would be, but they're kind of heavy and they sit like this hanging. So I wouldn't know how to make them sit like this so they come out basically.
I don't know, but it's the kind of thing they'll buy in Palm Beach, you know?
Yeah. And you know what? As a big brooch, I think it makes a statement. That's to put them together into a huge shoulder style brooch would be incredible.
What's a shoulder style? I don't know that word.
Big. I used to make them where it was like a tree branch and it sat on your actual shoulder.
Ooh, I want to see that.
Well, it's long gone, but I mean, yeah, it's like a statement piece. But if it's for me, I like when it starts here and then goes up and then out. But it's over the top. But I think with that it would be fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if you did
heavy? They're kind
What
of
if
heavy.
you did a shallow box?
Could you do a bouquet by putting wire into the threads?
Oh.
Using a Laura technique. If you take craft wire and put it in through the stems, you create like stems for it, and then you could actually create a bouquet out of them.
That's a great idea. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
I'm great at putting everybody else's techniques.
Aren't we all?
I like that you guys create this name for everybody's technique. And I guess still have to become accustomed to everybody's different style and techniques. So
those are really cool and really different. What beads are those?
Those are tiny, minuscule 11 no Miyuki. So they're so tiny.
Wow.
It kind of takes forever to make it because they're tiny, tiny, tiny. And this to make you guys know to make a cube. I mean, it's kind of challenging when you get to combine the ends at the end, like the little part in the middle that there's a hole. You got to try to be. So it is meticulous and laborious.
I love it. Yeah, but wow.
It's you know what they look like? I remember having ice cream that had different layers in it, and it was square, and people put like wafers of cookies in the side, and that kind of looks like that.
That's what makes a lot of sense. Maybe it was in my subconscious, something like that. Yeah, because I don't know where this came out from. I mean, I made a cube, and then I was like, what can I do with a cube? Of course, you don't think a rose, right? Why would I think I'm gonna make a rose with a cube? But that emerges from some sort of subconscious imagery that I had.
So, I love square roses. I think that's fabulous. Yeah.
Very cool. So much potential. Like there's a whole universe of potential right there. Structures. You could do them for like 5 years, you know.
And figure out, and also go big. I was like, I'm admiring your big work, and I think if I buy large beads, that could be, I can make these large roses, square roses, with enormous light beads.
Everyone has done square roses before in any medium, but you know, obviously I don't know everything, but it just seems so different.
Yeah, it was, and I think cubes are so fascinating to me.
I mean, could you make them smaller and then use them in a necklace? I'm sorry, I'm on this necklace
I mean, I think I can go smaller than that. I mean, you mean like smaller beads or smaller sizes?
Smaller size.
Sizes. I could, but then the extrusion would be very tiny because the extrusion is, of course,
Right.
periodic.
Okay. Right.
And so I need at least 4 or 5 rows, right, to make a peyote that makes sense.
Okay.
I think, right? I could try, but yeah, slightly smaller, but it wouldn't be that smaller, I think.
Right. No, you're right. You're right. I just think they're fabulous. They're brilliant.
Thank you. I had to do something with it.
Yeah, you will in time. They'll develop.
Exactly. Yeah, eventually.
Sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
So you're go ahead, Maggie.
Oh, no, sometimes pieces just have to go into limbo for a little while.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I like that because when I didn't start that much ago, and I think it's been 7 years, and I still in the phase of experimenting, so a lot of times you experiment with things that you don't know what's the purpose of it. When you get more expert, maybe you already have an idea what you can do with it. Yeah.
So I did interview Mara for my channel, my YouTube channel, which is, I guess, this channel or this channel. And she has some really original ideas, like we all do. But because I think, Mara, because you come from Italy, because you come from the town that Raphael was born in, right?
Raphael, yes.
Raphael was born in, that your aesthetic is to me very different from our aesthetic. Just the structures you were showing us right now, the aesthetic is just so different and it feels very fresh. So I would suggest that everybody go to Mara's website. Mara, what's your website again?
It's maracole.com, maracole.com.
Right. Yeah. You
Maracole, yeah.
You are using a lot of cubic right angle weave. Are you using just cubic right angle weave nowadays, or?
I started with other things, but then I narrowed to the cubic right angle when I start selling jewelry, because the whole concept was to create equal mesh that looks like a cutout. So that's why I've only been doing the cubic right angle after I start selling, because if I do something different, more elaborated, I just get out of my style and line. I would love to, but honestly, at this point, I don't even have time because I'm focusing on that line. So that's why most of the cubic right angle. But
are you still in Italy? Or do you still live in Italy?
No, I live in California, in Santa Barbara, close. Ojai. It's called Ojai. Do you guys know Ojai? They make cookies named Ojai.
Yes, Ornament Magazine had a base there for a while. If I'm not mistaken, it's in San Marcos.
In a second, guys, I gotta turn on this stove.
Were they in Ojai for a while or somewhere? They had an office there?
Yeah, no, they did. It was Ojai. Yeah.
I think so. That's how I know it.
Yeah.
I left my tea on the stove. Yeah, Ohio. They made the cookies, the famous brand of cookies, which I never remember, Farm something. They made a cookie named Ohio, lemon zest.
Oh, I love chocolate and lemon zest. You can't get enough.
Yeah.
I've even heard of this. What is this chocolate lemon zest?
Where are you from in Italy originally?
I was born in Urbino, which is you know Urbino? You lived in Italy, right?
I lived in Napoli per 5 anni.
Sì. Quindi sei stato in Urbino, no? Urbino è famosissimo. It's super famous.
Sì.
Yeah. It's super famous for the Renaissance. It's this little jewel town.
Now I'm going to get a little homesick.
Oh, really? I don't. Well, I don't know. I've been in the United States for 16 years. I go there once a year, so I think it's enough.
I've been since before COVID, but we lived there 5 years. That's kind of got a little special place, particularly Napoli. I know people.
Oh, Napoli, yeah.
You either love it or hate it. I loved it, but
yeah, one of the few. Yeah, as Italians, we tend to hate it, but because we're born there, so it's a different, right? It's a different thing.
Different, yeah. It's completely different.
Yeah.
Do you have any of your other pieces hanging around, Mara, that you could show us? Like not necklaces, ideally.
I gotta dig them out. They're not really around, but I gotta dig them out from the drawer.
One or two, not like
I can get the giant one.
Earrings, maybe.
That's always. There you go.
I
Sorry, I
just,
was totally
her
not prepared for
her
this. I have a
website is
very rough.
unbelievable.
It's her website.
Oh, I
I
love
gotta
that
look
piece.
at it. Article.com. Yeah.
Oh,
That's fabulous
necklace,
piece.
guys. Sorry, it's a necklace, but it's worth looking at.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
a
it's
very
fabulous.
long. I don't know if you guys see with this light, it's so bright and
What's the
this
name?
is
They're watching us.
is there?
The name, they are watching us.
Oh, I see who's the watch. See, the name is they're watching us. No, we are watching you. I think it's
Oh,
the
we are watching you. Sorry.
yeah.
It's got eyes. It's lots and lots of eyes in cubic right angle
Love
bead.
it. Oh,
Very
it's fabulous.
So the
Oh my.
idea was to create something flat that looks like it's being cut out.
Hmm.
That's why I've been using the cubic right angle to create this super flat pieces with a lot of negative space. So the negative space make it, first of all, it makes it lighter, but also it looks like it's being cut out with the knife. And a lot of people, they ask me what it's made of because they don't understand it's beads. So it's interesting. To me, it was immediately something that I was interested in producing work with because it looks really sleek and minimalist. There's not much redundance of decorations. So, but at the same time, it's difficult to create something simple and interesting. So that's the challenge, I think, because the shapes have to be really,
Oh my God.
really interesting. Otherwise, it's just
I
boring.
want one of your odd.
So you made this when you were at the Ilias Lalunis, I can't pronounce it,
Launis, yeah, Ilias Launis Jewelry Museum. I did the artist residency, and this was exhibited at the New York Jewelry Week last year, 2023. Yeah, at the Greek embassy. There was a group show.
You're
They
going to make
create
more
very good.
like that, aren't you? You're going to do more like that with the eyes.
Yes, I started, so it looks like my work started becoming a little bit more big because I bought this number 8. So now I'm trying to figure out the number 8 beads. I usually work with number 11. So I got to figure out if I want to use the larger beads, how can I keep the details? If somebody has tips, that would be nice to hear.
Oh,
Because
and
that's
you wanted to ask about gold finished beads, didn't you, Mara?
yes, I'm so concerned about the fact that the pieces that I sell them for quite a lot of money because they're expensive, and I don't want people to go home and they start tarnishing, or fading. So, do you guys have some suggestion for the best 24-karat gold plating or whatever finish that?
That's a really hard one for me, Lori. You give the best answer to that.
Yes, so it's hard because like ultimately there aren't any totally stable finishes whenever you put a finish on something. But I find I use like the you definitely don't want galvanized, but the permanent
Oh.
finish ones are good. So you can
Yeah, permanent.
stay away from galvanized completely, they'll lose their color.
Really? Oh my God. See, that's good to know.
Yeah. But Toho sells them as permanent finish, and then Yuki sells them as Duracoat. But
Yeah.
both of those have like a clear coat over them that stabilizes them, and they're good. And with the precious metal, I use a lot of the 24 karat gold. And I use both. When I work with Icos a lot, so those are Toho. And the Toho gold beads are more expensive than the Miyuki ones because they use a higher carat gold. There's more.
Oh,
So, and they're a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
They're just a little bit yellower, I think, when you look at the Toho ones next to the Miyuki ones. But the thing I've found, I don't know, Maggie, you can speak to this too, is like it's hard because it's skin chemistry sometimes. So
Right.
like you and I could have pieces that never change, and then someone else wears it, and the color changes. And so there's yeah.
With the acidity in your skin. I have a very high acidity in my skin. So I can take the color, particularly off of galvanized. I can take it off in
wow. Yeah.
But Toho, particularly their 712F, their 714F, I'm okay with it. They're never gonna last forever. I mean, from what I can see, even older pieces I collect, it
It changes.
It changes, and that's to me, it's part of the beauty of the piece over time.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I've always like I did historical costumes, so I love the aging part of it. Not everybody likes it, but I think too, like one thing I did when I used to sell more of my finished work, and I used to give them, I mean you probably might do it already, but a piece of paper explaining basically that like there's nothing that's 100% permanent, but
Mhm.
there are things that you can do, like don't wear it in the hot tub and like things,
You're right.
you know,
I'm going to
uh,
swim. Yeah.
that will help.
Don't put it through the dishwasher or the washing machine. Yeah.
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 It's like a special occasion piece in that sense.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Also, don't
special
spray
care,
because, yeah,
special care.
That's actually, yeah, I was gonna say that's a big one, like perfume and hairspray.
yeah,
That changes it, and it can like totally change the color
yeah.
on
Laura, you know your lover's eye brooch that I did.
things.
I forget all the time and I throw that thing in the wash all the time. And then it's like, oh, damn, I forgot to take that off of my shirt. And it's gone through there so many times and it's fine. Actually, let me go get it and I'll show it to you because it's
Oh,
here.
that's a true
There
test.
there is a former student of mine, and probably Laura, yours too, uh, who does bead weaving with high carat actual gold beads.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It cost a bloody fortune.
Oh no.
All right.
And
So
it
I want to
depends
know who
on what
this
your
is.
market is and what your market. She does beautiful work, not quite as intricate as particularly what you're doing, but she does beautiful work with precious stones and actual 22 karat gold beads.
Is this Beth Farber? No.
Yes.
Yes, I know her. Yeah. Yeah, I know she used very, very expensive materials. Even the gems she used,
Yeah.
they're so
They're
expensive.
beautiful, but
I
that's
love her.
how I love it.
Yeah.
And it's probably been through the wash probably
Mm.
10 times.
Looks like it's holding up very well.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, the gold beads,
gold. Yeah, those are all
they're
Toho.
still gold.
Yeah.
The leather is fine on the back.
Wow.
The eyeball has not broken.
Why
There
don't
you
I
go.
have that kit?
No, I have to bring that one out again.
Oh, this one's wonderful. I love this one.
But also too, like with Beth, and she's been very gracious in sharing sources, but there's a lot of things you can't do, particularly as geometric as you're doing, because stones they just don't have that tile style shape. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you want. She makes very luscious pieces, but in terms of making a square, I don't know how that would be with what she uses. That's all.
You'd have to do something probably more in line with you using crystals or
Her work is magnificent. Her work is magnificent. You know, so it's just everybody does something different. But I think Laura's idea with the card, when you sell it, this is this, blah blah blah.
Yeah, my mom has one of my initial pieces I made in 2018. She's wearing it every day in the summer. It goes to the beach. She goes under the sun. She goes to take a shower. It didn't change color, but because it was all glass. So just glass without any finish on top. I think maybe that is different because that will last forever, I think.
It will. That's where the trouble is with the finishes. Like they will change. And
Yeah.
it's inevitable. I mean, when I used to work on old costumes and stuff, repairing things, they always change. Like there's nothing, even when stuff's been put away and stored in a cabinet for 150 years, they still change. It's just the nature of it, so.
Laura, let me ask you, what about lined beads though? Like the 24 karat gold lined beads?
Yeah.
I haven't worked with them much, but would they fade too?
I
Probably.
haven't had trouble with them, but it's funny because there's like some people have a lot of trouble with silver lined and copper lined tarnishing. I have not had trouble with it, but I've had customers who've, put on like some of the copper lined beads, and the beads have actually changed almost green from the copper lining tarnishing.
Wow.
But
Okay.
but then I have pieces here that are, like 10 years old that haven't changed at all. So again, it's all like it's air and chemistry and all of that that's
Could
affecting.
it be like climate, because I wonder what's going to happen with some of my stuff now that I'm in Florida as opposed to up in Illinois.
Yeah.
And whether the salt water, salt air is going to affect the finishes on things.
I think it can. And one of the things you can do is you can actually, if you want to try to avoid issues, is store stuff with silica, like the little packs that you get with shoes and things like that. That really helps if you put things in Tupperware with silica because humidity is a big issue. So if you're somewhere where it gets humid, that can be a problem and it can cause things to degrade. And I know like I use steel cut beads and steel cuts, once they rust, they're rusted. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you need to not have that happen, and silica seems to be the best.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotta go search through the garbage for all the little silica
Yeah,
sticks.
don't throw those things away. They're useful.
Does anybody,
I think, oh, sorry.
does anybody know anything about the stability of the brass enamel beads? Valerie, I know you've used.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I have a few things to say. But on some of the colors, like the cream, there's a cream color. It seems extremely easy to pull off the finish. And so I have sprayed them when I generally stopped using cream at a certain point in time because the finish is too unstable. And sometimes the seam rips. It's especially the case with the largest ones where they're basically useless. That's like a size 6. It's useless because the seam rips and the hole is too big. And I really began thinking, do I want to go on using these beads when I like permanent finishes? And these finishes are not permanent. They're beautiful beads and I love them. But I've sprayed them with like a odor-free matte finish sprays.
What's the name of it?
I'll send it, or I'll put it in the show notes if I remember, or you're welcome to email me. I have it upstairs. I can't think of the name. It's just, I got it at the art store, the local Dick Blick art store. That did seem to help, but the cream ones, I would never trust them again. It's a beautiful color, but until they make it better. I asked, they're made in America, and I asked the main distributor, are you going to come out with, is anybody going to come out with more colors? And he said he didn't think so. And I kind of, or more shapes, because why not more shapes in these metal enamel beads? And I was wondering at the time if the reason is that the finishes are too unstable. They scratch. And if one of these colored beads scratches, as I'm sure you know, Becca, you get a line of bright brass color. It ruins everything, okay? And you can't fix it. You can try to turn that bead under, but you can't fix it. Some, I love them. I'd like to see a new generation better made somehow.
But a fixative does help.
I think so. Twice, right? And let it dry nicely in between, like for a few hours anyway, if not longer.
Okay.
But do you also think it has to do with the pieces of jewelry too? Like a bracelet, I could see it coming off of quicker than perhaps a long pendant that you're wearing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, by the time I would finish a beaded bead, like a 5x6, try to think of Laura Shea's name for it. I think she called it the Archimedes bead.
Okay.
It goes by other different names I can't think of right now in terms of geometry. Even by the time I would finish one of them, some of the beads had, little bright needle marks of bright brass showing. When you get enough of those, you can't fix it. And I can't sell it in good faith. I can't present that to a customer knowing it's just going to keep rubbing off over time.
Absolutely. No.
Yeah. I'm really glad that you brought this up because I had a terrible thing happen this summer. I had just finished a necklace using some hybrid beads, and I wore it one time and the finish just came off and they were black. So I ended up taking it apart and redoing it with a different kind of bead.
Hybrids are tough also. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I decided that was the end of me and hybrids and actually I've been for seed beads, I've been buying a lot more Duracoats lately.
I like the Duracoats.
Yeah, they're good. They're very good.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Now, does anyone else want to show something else or make a comment, an observation, chime in? Otherwise, I think it's probably time for us to close the meeting. It's almost 2 hours. It's been a lot of fun.
It's great.
It's an
really
hour,
been,
hour and a half.
I really
Hour and a
look
half.
forward to these.
It's been fun.
All about me. I look forward to these all the time. So thanks for
Thank you
coming.
very
I
much.
really think it's a great group.
Well,
I'm thankful I saw this on Facebook this morning because this has been great. Thank you.
thank you for
Everyone come back next month.
Nice seeing you, everybody.
Thank you for coming, everybody. Bye, Mara. Thank you.
Up to you all. Take care.
Take care. See you next month.
Bye,
next
Mara. Bye, Ziva. Thank you for coming. Bye, Nancy.
Bye.
I